In the budget that we'll see very shortly, we're expecting two things. We want to see lower costs for Canadians, and we want to see big corporations start paying their fair share.
You are so full of shit.
Do you support a consumer carbon levy? There is some kind of muddied messaging with last week's speech. You asked about it 4 times. You talked about doubling down on the industrial carbon price, not burdening working families. Do you support a consumer carbon levy?
We want more money and better working conditions.
Is this some sort of peasant joke that I'm too rich to understand?
No.
We know that Canadians are hurting right now.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Canadians are feeling the squeeze of everything being more expensive.
We have a colorful graphic here that shows instances of bullshit like this are on the rise. Is that right?
Yes, although why is unclear. Some say it's because of one fucking reason. Others say it's because of some other fucking reason.
I pointed out in a number of question periods over the past couple of weeks.
He's a lying piece of shit.
When I'm Prime Minister, I will keep my promises. Now, another promise, let me try again.
Here's a perfect example of what I've been talking about.
In an unusual pre-budget twist, we already know a lot of what will be in it after a multi-week pre-budget blitz. The government has already previewed almost $40 billion in spending, about half of which is set to be loans. Despite all that new spending, Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland is insisting she will stand by the fiscal anchors outlined in her fall economic statement. There are 3 of them: keeping the 2023-24 deficit below $40.1 billion, reducing both the debt to GDP ratio and then also the deficit to GDP ratio in 2024-25, and keeping deficits to 1% of GDP by 2026-27.
Whoa, there's some bullshit happening.
Joining us now to talk about that is former Bank of Canada Governor David Dodge. How inevitable, in your view, after what you've seen announced so far, are new taxes?
Something doesn't add up.
What a bunch of fucking bullshit.
So I think there's a big question.
Well, color me curious.
Secondly, well, maybe she promised to keep the deficit under 40 billion. Maybe that just won't happen.
Christ on a cracker.
Finally, I think there is a very real possibility that they'll do exactly the wrong thing.
Jesus Christ! I warned you.
Okay, let's parse apart the last point that you just made, because Minister Freeland has been explicit that she won't grow the size of the deficit. So I think that is what has prompted all the speculation around taxation.
You know, there's the old adage, don't tax you, don't tax me, tax the fellow behind the tree.
Gene made a machine. And Jojo made it go. I blew a fart and blew the whole damn thing apart.
And unfortunately, there is no one behind the tree. Behind the tree is us, and she's going to tax us. And so what she's going to try to do is to do something that will slow down the very investment which is going to raise Canadian standard of living over time by taxing at the margin the corporations and the individuals that are going to make the investments that will help grow the economy.
What a bunch of fucking bullshit.